In this video, we're going to look primarily at the solubility of gases and how temperature and pressure affect those two things. So when I look at gases, I see a very different picture than what I saw when I looked at the solids. Notice that all of our solubility curves are decreasing. So as the temperature increases, the solubility of a gas decreases. So that gas is coming out of that solution, and what we see is less dissolved. So we can see this when we look at a soda. If we have a cold soda versus a warm soda, we notice that it tastes different. There's not as much of that CO2 dissolved in the warm soda because the temperature is higher, and as a result, some of that CO2 has come out of solution. The curves are a little more consistent when we look at the solubility of gases rather than when we look at the solubility of our solids. So when we look at pressure, what we see is that that's going to affect the solubility of that gas in a solution as well, in this case looking in the body. So if I increase the pressure of oxygen, I'm going to have a higher concentration of oxygen dissolved, say, in the blood. If I decrease the pressure of oxygen, I'm going to have a lower concentration of oxygen in the blood. And so these differences in pressure also affect the flow of oxygen and CO2 within our bloodstream and within our body. And so when you have a patient who has not enough oxygen to dissolve, we give them oxygen in order to increase that pressure, and we increase the amount of oxygen in their blood. Now, when we talk about the behavior of gases, when we talk about either pressure or temperature variations in solubility, that is different than what we talked about when we looked at Boyle's law and looking at the pressure and volume relationships. In that case, we're looking at just pressure and volume relationships for a gas, not dealing with solubility. So here, when we look at pressure changes, we're looking at solubility of a gas. So two different things, both important in bodily functions, but very different from one another.